Hi all and welcome back to Cricket Talks with Rish. I know it's been a while, it's been quite a bit of gap since I made the last video, but here we are again. So I'm here to talk about the Super 8 stage of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which is playing in West Indies and the United States of America. So first of all, going into details about how the group stage went, to be honest, it lived up to the expectations. We did see a lot of associate teams, as I said, going to compete really hard in this tournament. And to be honest, they did prove a scare or two. We saw USA removing Pakistan out in the group stage, which is a shocker to many Pakistan fans around the globe, and also which led to widespread talks about should the captaincy be changed once again, or should the team selection be changed, or what is going wrong in the setup. So we saw USA shocking them to come into the Super 8. We also saw almost Scotland removing England out of the Super 8 stage. Yes, England did win today morning against West Indies, but at one stage they were not in a position to qualify. If you remember, Scotland played Australia in the last group match, and in that case, if Scotland had just defeated Australia, even if it was in the last ball or even by one run, and Australia eventually chased in 19.4 overs, but even if it was by they'd taken it and won that in the last ball, Scotland, they would have qualified for the Super 8 instead of England. And that is exactly what this tournament is about. Because you see, people are so overwhelmed and just talking about the top teams which cricket plays, like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, probably Bangladesh, New Zealand, and South Africa and West Indies to some extent. So people are just obsessed with these big names, England. But there's hardly any known facts about teams like Scotland, the Netherlands, the United States of America, who was not known until they came into this tournament. So just going by all these things, the way these teams have showed their worth is incredible. As we saw New Zealand getting eliminated in the group stage for the first time ever. Then we also saw Sri Lanka not qualifying for the Super 8 stage. It's really a shocker for these two teams because they were so used to being in the semis or getting in the later stages of the tournament. To see them get out in this group stage is really shocking. But of course, it did prove a point to get the other teams in much more competition and prove a better point for fans to view this, though the timings were a bit weird all around the globe due to where the tournament is currently happening. But all in all, it was a great season. Now, of course, we're talking about the 2026 World Cup. We're looking forward. Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan will get automatic qualification. India, Sri Lanka will get because they are the host for the 2026 T20 World Cup. Whereas Pakistan, Ireland will be getting the sure shot qualification because they are well placed in the seeding points, like in the ICC standings ranking. So they will get automatic qualification. So there's nothing to worry about. But now coming to the focus point. Here we are talking about now the group Super 8 stage where two matches are done. We saw one match yesterday evening between South Africa versus USA. I'm sorry for that. So we saw South Africa winning by 18 runs. So when South Africa batted first, I think many people would have thought that it was done and dusted there. People would have thought South Africa 180, 190, almost touching 190. No chance for this USA batting lineup against the likes of Rabada, Nokia, Tabrez, Shamsi, Maharaj and all. And to be honest, it was fair enough because they didn't start all that well. Though Steven Taylor did give them a great start in the power play, after he fell, wickets just kept tumbling. It actually required a really good partnership between Andries Goose and Harmeet Singh to really get that game very close. They almost, in the last 5 overs or something, they needed 60 if I'm not wrong, around that margin. And to be honest, at that stage, we thought the game was open because both of them were timing the ball really well. They were playing their shots and everything looked so good. But what happened was in the last 2 overs, since Rabada came in, they were not really able to get the balls away. They were struggling to get runs and eventually led to the demise of losing by 18 runs. But this USA team is really special, folks. They're really special. They're turning out events. They're giving their best every single time, and there's something about them. Especially I would like to name like Saurabh Netravalkar. How many of us knew that he played India under 19 before this tournament? He came into recognition and he's being the Hall of Fame for USA. If I'm not wrong in that. So it's been a great learning curve for USA. They still have 2 matches to see and prove a point if they can qualify for semifinals. At this point looks very tough. I didn't even call them in the Super 8 if you know my previous video predictions. But I don't see them progressing to the semifinals from here on. But it was a good learning curve for them this tournament, and I'm sure they learn a lot from what this tournament has taught them. But now going to the second match which happened between England and the West Indies. So that was an interesting game. It really was, because it was early morning in India. It was around 6 a.m. here, and Bahrain time, if you go to see 3:30 in the Middle East or something like that, early stages of the day. So you see, we saw how England opted to chase because the pitch was flat. It was not turning. There was not much help for the bowlers, and it was just an hamdunga for easy batting in this pitch. We saw West Indies start really well. Brandon King unfortunately got injured and he had to get retired hurt, with got poor run in early. But come in all, whatever happened in that case, West Indies was surely shot for a 200 plus total. They stumbled their way in the death overs. They had enough wickets in hand. I think, of course, you can't blame them for pushing too hard, but I think they really just put that extra mile. They didn't allow likes of Russell or someone to get settled for 2-3 balls and then play their shots. They went to hit from ball number 1, and that ultimately helped them go to a below par total. It was not in a par total because you saw how comfortably England chased, and I think 18.3 or 17.3, I'm not exactly sure the rate at which they chased their target, but it was just a piece of cake, and it was just likes of Philip Salt and Johnny Bairstow who did the absolute damage and carnage to ensure England remove all the worries, remove all the tensions about getting qualified, and say that now that we are in the Super 8, we are here to entertain you folks. You get entertained or you become sad, we don't care. But we are here to entertain you, and if it works on that day, your team is done. So a really positive brand of cricket there from the English lineup. And I'm really looking forward, to be honest, to see how they cope up and probably at this stage and make them a semi-final specialist. Though they're really early, the net run rate is very good. But that's one factor why I think England will go to the semi-finals of this tournament. So all in all, a good game of cricket, a lot of learning for West Indies. They need to really regroup now. They have 2 important matches against USA, which they can't take lightly for sure, and also against South Africa if they want to progress to the semi-finals in their home turf. Because remember, the Super 8, semi-finals and the final, all matches are happening in the Caribbean. So it's their home ground, it is their pitches, they should know what to be done, guys. And I think really, they need to just work out their system quickly, because Super 8s, you have games every alternate day. You don't have much time to relax and get back. So I'm hoping that West Indies can come back strongly, because they are really a good team and they would like to prove a point. So yeah, hopefully that happens, people. But now talking about today's encounter, very, very important game. It is India versus Afghanistan. For people talking that, oh, this should be a piece of cake for India, but remind you folks, they're playing in Barbados. Barbados does have some turn there. It will assist spinners, and if it does assist spinners with the likes of Rohit and Kohli opening, and if you get something like a Noor Ahmed or Rashid Khan early, and you never know if, and Fazal Afriki, why to go into the spinners? We have Fazal Afriki, who's probably the top wicket taker in this IC Men's T20 World Cup so far, 13 or 14 wickets. So I think if he wrecks the damage early on today, if he gets Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma out early, game is wide open, because we have seen the Indian middle order. They have been stumbling a bit. I won't say that in the peak of forms as where they would like to be, but they're performing well. So all in all, I would say it's going to be a great encounter between bat and ball. I think the game is going to come down to fine margins. It's going to be a game within a game, as they call it. It'll be how Indian batters tackle the Afghanistan spinners in the middle overs, and how they tackle Fazil Afriki on top. And I would like to just pinpoint this. If India bat first, you know that Afghanistan are not very comfortable with their batting chasing high totals. We saw how they stumbled to a 130 score against chasing 200 plus against West Indies. So Afghanistan are not very confident with their batting. So it's very, really important if India bat first to put a solidified total. That will scare Afghanistan right there, because you're not sure that they might lose it from there, because they really have stalwarts in batting. They have Ibrahim Zatan, Ramna Gurbaz, Mohammad Nami, Azmuddin Omarzai, name gets just keeps going and going. But that will put a fear factor. If India can reach anywhere between 180 to 200, anything about 200, I would say India is favourites to win this game. But if India bat first and they score only 140, 150, I would say it's going to be an equal game. It's going to be a humdinger of game. And Afghanistan, whatever might be happening, if they progress to semi-finals or if they don't, I'm really, really proud of them, because they really deserve a huge round of applause from all of us here, because the way they have structured their team, the way they have come up is incredible. They're a force to reckon with, and I'm hoping for a great game here at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time between India and Afghanistan. And I hope this World Cup continues to live up to its expectations, because it's going to be a great, great game to watch. All in all, guys, take care. Everyone, enjoy the games. It's going to be a very interesting contest from here on. there are two teams from each group fighting for the semi-final spot. So it's gonna heat up, guys and people. You know, there's a lot of sports happening around the world. There's a World Cup happening here. There's Euros happening. So there's a lot of sports happening all around the globe. I think it's just the perfect scenario for a sports fan like me and a lot of other people who are watching this video. So enjoy the sports. It's that type of a year. It's that type of season which we waited for from June to September probably, where you get the Paris Olympics later on. So it's going to be really fun. Keep enjoying. Keep watching Cricket Talks with Rish, and I'll be back with you with another video really soon. We have Australia versus Bangladesh tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. IST, and 8 p.m. we have a great contest between England and South Africa. Don't forget to tune in for these two on Disney Hotstar and Star Sports. It's going to be great fun, people. All in all, take care, good night, and I'll see you soon.